Have you seen the cyclist? Do you think your learner has seen the cyclist? How would you manage this risk? Have you observed your pupil checking their mirrors or transferring their right foot from the accelerator to the brake pedal? When would you need to manage risk in this scenario? Let's look at some examples of how we might need to manage risk outside of the lesson goal. Firstly, it's important to understand what risk is. In simple terms, risk is the possibility of something bad happening. A cyclist is a vulnerable road user, therefore there is an element of danger when overtaking them. Managing risk in the goal. In this scenario, the learner has a goal to be able to identify a safe gap to emerge onto a roundabout. The instructor will manage the risk by helping the learner in making that decision. Managing risk outside of the lesson goal. In this scenario, the risk that is being managed outside of the agreed goal is the cyclist. The learner has dealt with cyclists before, however, the situation is different today because the cyclist is approaching a roundabout and the learner has not been in this situation. As this is a situation which the learner has not found themselves in before, the instructor should be thinking of managing the risk.
Are you okay dealing with this cyclist ahead of us?
The instructor asks the learner a closed question as soon as the cyclist came into view. The response from the learner will help the instructor manage the risk ahead.
Yeah, fine.
Turn right at the roundabout, fourth exit. I will leave you to deal with it and only help if I need to.
The instructor observes the learner looking in the rearview mirror and feels the car start to slow, noticing the learner lift their right foot from the accelerator pedal. At this point, the intended direction of travel by the cyclist is unknown. The instructor only has to observe the learner and no coaching is required. Asking open questions at this point, such as, how are you going to deal with it? Or, what are you thinking as you approach the cyclist, may distract the learner and increase the risk. The instructor only needs to intervene if the learner doesn't respond to the cyclist appropriately. Once clear of the cyclist and roundabout, the instructor can give praise and feedback. Now let's look at another example. In this scenario, we are working with the same learner and working towards the same goal, which is making the correct decision to emerge onto the roundabout safely. This time, on approach to the cyclist, the instructor will be managing the risk by taking more control in the lesson. Let's watch how things unfold.
Are you okay dealing with this cyclist ahead of us?
Yeah, fine.
Turn right at the roundabout, fourth exit. I will leave you to deal with it and only help if I need to.
The instructor observes the learner looking in the rearview mirror and the right door mirror. This could be the learner doing her routine as she approaches the roundabout to turn right. However, the instructor feels that the speed on approach to the cyclist has not changed. To manage the risk of the learner attempting an overtake so close to the roundabout, a closed question is used.
Are you thinking of overtaking here?
Yes, I am.
Now the instructor needs to manage the risk by taking control of the developing situation. The closed question has established that the learner has not interpreted the potential risk involved in the timing of the overtake. The risk at the moment is injury to the cyclist. The learner's vision to the right is obstructed by trees. Overtaking the cyclist and giving them enough room would mean using the opposite side of the road. The cyclist's intended direction of travel is not known at this time. There is potential that the cyclist could move towards the centre of the road to turn right. If the learner overtakes at the same time, the two could come together. There is also the risk of another vehicle approaching from the other direction.
Hold back until we know which direction the cyclist intends to go.
Take control. Ask questions later. Once clear of the cyclist and roundabout, provide feedback and establish if there is any gaps in knowledge or understanding. The key points to managing risk. Watch your learner and be aware of their surroundings and actions. Never assume your learner has the knowledge or understanding. Be proactive to your learner's actions, for example, asking a closed question or prompt.